Welcome everyone to another Harry Potter video, cause you wanted those, right? I guess. If you don't know me, I'm KP. I talk about Harry Potter once. We mostly talk about cartoons here. Subscribe. Anyway, for those who don't know, HBO, which is Warner Brothers, is making a Harry Potter series, assumingly to cash in on the franchise still.
We've got to have money.
Because we don't have to crunch everything into a movie, which was always a common complaint about the movies, by the way. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix had 766 pages. Let's make it into a 2-hour movie, right, guys? Which arguably turned out better because Harry is a fucking brat in the book. At least the Deathly Hallows had somewhat of the right idea by splitting the plot into 2 movies. Because we have to have more Harry Potter media in mind. Because Warner Brothers is making a new Harry Potter land, where they recreate the Ministry of Magic. And yes, there is new merch. And before I go on, yes, unfortunately, J.K. Rowling is involved in this project. If you're new here and don't know my views about all that, see that old video I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And I know everyone's still salty at her, but boycotting Harry Potter isn't going to do anything at this point because she's just fucking rich. Why am I mentioning all this stuff? Well, besides knowing a lot about Harry Potter, which, aged great. Thanks, J.K. Rowling.
Thanks.
There's been an interesting casting choice that has people talking. To my knowledge, there hasn't been a lot of actors being cast for their show yet, except John Lithgow as Dumbledore. You know John Lithgow, he was that short guy in that movie you liked one time.
I protest!
Harry, you put your name in a goblet of fire.
Closer!
But my favorite character, Snape, was recently cast, and it's a doozy, by actor Papa Escaboo. And that's the only time I'm gonna say it because I don't want to mispronounce his name again. Dumb white girl. In this move, seems to be pretty problematic. Unlike Black Ariel, where people were mad because racism, this choice will have some negative consequences on the core material, which, thanks guys. And by the way, disclaimer that I am a dumb white girl, and don't take my word as far as me trying to represent anyone or anything. This is mostly an analysis of the plot from Harry Potter. Point 1. Snape is kind of an awful person. It's minimized in the actual movies a lot, but Snape bullies children, viciously, to the point where Neville Longbottom's biggest fear is Snape. Not Voldemort, Snape.
What frightens you most of all?
Professor Snape.
Sorry?
Professor Snape.
So that has a bunch of racial implications now. Point 2. Snape is described as greasy and unkempt and very pale. So out of all the characters in Harry Potter, Snape is the one who has a pretty visual description. I'm all for colorblind casting, but maybe take it to a character that doesn't have such a recognizable look to him. Also, greasy and unkempt is probably not what you want your main representation to be. Point 3. Snape is bullied by a bunch of white guys now.
Awkward!
So if you haven't read Harry Potter, James Potter, Harry's dad, is kind of a dick and never really gets any character development.
You always have been, and you always will be, a butt trumpet! You know why? Because you've got a trumpeting butt!
No, Harry.
Yes!
Stop it! Stop that!
Hey guys, I'm Snape!
No,
Look!
Harry, stop! It doesn't sound anything like my butt!
Ha! Who looks stupid now? You do.
Alright!
When Snape and Lily and James and Peter and Lupin and Sirius were all kids, all of those guys, minus Lily, bullied Snape. No one knows why Lily still went for James. The verdict's kind of meh.
Seriously, what do you see in that guy?
But look at all the racial implications. If Snape is black and everyone else isn't, woo, it's horrible. And Voldemort's all about blood supremacy, the and eugenics. Go look it up.
Google it!
Having Snape be hypothetically the only black guy there might be a really bad look. And also doesn't really make a lot of sense. Voldemort's all about that supremacy, but I guess he isn't racist. Cool. Points for Voldemort. And lastly, an important plot point in the book is when Snape calls Lily a mudblood, which is a racist term in Harry Potter language.
Mudblood's a really foul name for someone who is muggle-born, someone with non-magic parents.
And that ends the friendship. So maybe having your not white guy be racist maybe isn't the hottest look. And of course the common criticism is, why didn't you cast Adam Driver, you cowards? He's biologically made to play Snape. He's right there. We were waiting.
You had one job.
So all in all, this is just a hot mess. But of course we'll have to see how it's handled in the future. So what do you guys think? Are you still gonna pirate it and not watch it officially to fuck J.K. Rowling over, or what? I guess let me know in the comments or whatever if people still use the comments. Comment, discuss, subscribe, woo. I'm kind of scared now, but we'll see if this can save the franchise. Probably not.